Hello everyone, the topic for today is fractions. We're going to learn how to solve fractions. At the end of this lesson, we will be able to add and subtract fractions, multiply fractions, and divide fractions. Okay, to add and subtract fractions, they need to have a common denominator. Then you can add or subtract the fraction by adding or subtracting the numerator. If the fractions have the same denominators already, then the numerator can easily be added or subtracted and the denominator remains the same. So for the first example, 2 divided by 6 plus 4 divided by 12. The first thing you look at is the denominator. They're not the same, so we need to make them be the same. So you're going to multiply the 6 by 2, and what you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So 2 times 2. So now 2 times 2 is going to be 4 divided by 6 times 2 is 12, right? Plus the 4 over 12. So this answer is 8 over 12. The denominator remains the same. Cool. Now this can be broken down into a simpler form. I normally start, from the lowest. So I know that this is the 8 is an even number and the 12 is an even number. So 2 can go into both without leaving a remainder. But also 4, because 4 into 8 is what? 2 times, and 4 into 12, 3 times. So the answer is 2 over 3. 2 over 3. So that's the answer. Okay, let that soak in. Now we are going to do subtraction, which is practically the same. You're just gonna subtract the numerators now. Okay. Now 3 divided by 2, subtract 1 divided by 4. The first thing you do is look at the denominator and say, oh, the denominators are different, but I need to change it. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the 2, the denominator, by 2, because that's how you get 4. And what you do to the bottom, you got to do to the top. So multiply the top by 2 as well. So 3 times 2, 3 to 6, divided by 4, subtract 1 over 4. And this equals 5 over 4. Remain the same. The denominator remain the same. That's the whole reason or purpose of changing the denominator. Take a look at multiplying fractions. When multiplying fractions, we multiply the numerator by the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. So for instance, y divided by 10 multiply or times 10 divided by 40 is going to equal to 10y, because 10 times y we're going across numerators, right? 10y divided by 10 times 40 is 400. And this can be broken down into even simpler form. So 10 into 10 one time, and 10 into 400 is what? 40 times. So the answer is 1 over 40 y. So it's 1 over 40 y, or y over 40, right? Now the next one is 5 divided by 3 times or multiply by 4 divided by 3. So we're going to go across numerator, right? So 5 times 4 is 20, and 3 times 3 is 9. Remember, this is multiplication. If it was addition, the top would be 9, because 5 plus 4 would be 9, divided by 3. because the denominators are the same, but this is not addition. This is multiplication. So we got to multiply across. 5 times 4 is 20. 3 times 3 is 9. Now this is what we call an improper fraction. It's top heavy, right? So it's called an improper fraction. So 20 divided by 9, right? When you see a fraction like this, the first thing you ask yourself, how many times the denominator can go into the numerator, right? So you're going to say to yourself, how many times can 9 go into 20? Think about it. How many times can 9 go into 20? Right? We know it's 2 times. So this is we're going down for we're breaking it down into simpler forms. So this is 2 times because 2 9 is 18, and it remainder of what? 2, and then you put it back over 9. So that is the mixed fraction. That's the answer, mixed fraction form. So sometimes you get a problem, it's multiple choice, and the answer has to be a mixed fraction, right? Not an improper fraction, or vice versa. Now, the 20 over 9, as I said, it's an improper fraction, what the 2 and 2 ninths, that is called a mixed fraction, okay? And you can check your answer by multiplying the 9 times the 2, 2 nines, 18, and then you add 2. 18 plus 2 is 20. So it's 20 over 9. We're going to divide fractions. When dividing fractions, we flip the second fraction and multiply. Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. We keep the first fraction, we change the sign to multiplication, and then we flip the second fraction. So 8 divided by 3 times, so the division change to multiplication, and then we flip the second. So this equals 24 over 3 equals 8. Right? Okay. Let's do the next one. So a half divided by 4 over 3. So keep the half, change the division to multiplication, then you flip the second, which is 3 over 4. Alright, now you multiply across. 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 4 is 8. And that's the answer. Subtracting mixed fraction. What I love to do with mixed fraction is to convert it to improper fraction and just do the regular subtraction. The same thing goes for addition, right? So let's do an example. 3, 4 over 6, subtract 1, 3 over 2. So what I like to do, as I said, I like to change the mixed fraction to improper fraction. So you multiply 6 times 3, 6 3 is 18, and then you add the 18 to the 4. So that's 22 divided by the 6. Subtract 2 times 2. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5 over 2. right? You put it back over the denominator. Now, see, this is our, you'd say a regular subtraction problem, right? Fraction. Now, what we're gonna do, as we expressed before, is to look at the denominator. You see, the denominators are not the same, so we need to make them be the same. So we're gonna change this one to 6. So you have to multiply by 3 to make this denominator 6. And what you do to the bottom, you gotta do to the top. So the answer for that is 22 over 6. Subtract 15 over 6. Now we have both denominators to be the same, right? So the answer is 22 subtract 15 is 7 divided by 6. Right? Now we know that this is an improper fraction. So what we can do is to go even further and say how many times 6 can go into 7. That's 1 time. Remainder 1 over 6. So that's the answer. So as I said, sometimes you get multiple choice and the answer is 1 and 1/6. But when you work it out, you get 7 over 6. You have to know how to reduce the fraction or change the fraction into a mixed fraction. Okay. Okay, let's run through this practice question. Okay. Number 1. So we're gonna focus on the first bracket, then we do the second bracket, and then that's the end of the problem practically. So this might seem complex to you, but remember every complex problems are made up of simple problems, right? Once you solve the simple problems, you will come by the overall solution, which is the solution of the complex problem. Alright, so 3 over 8 plus 1 over 2, or a half, equals. So what we want to do is to make the denominator the same because we want to add, right? So we're going to multiply the second fraction by 4. What to do to the bottom, you got to do to the top. So it's 3 over 8 plus 4 over 8. That equals 7 over 8. Next, 3 over 4, subtract 2 over 3. Make the denominator the same. We got to multiply the first one by 3. What we do at the bottom, we do at the top. And the second one, we're going to multiply by 4. By 4. So the answer is 9 over 12. Subtract 8 over 12 equal 112. This is for second bracket, this for first bracket, right? Nothing that you don't know. Now, we're going to write it now as it is in the problem. So the first bracket, the solution is 7 over 8 divided by 1 over 12 times 2 over 3, right? What we're going to do is we're going to flip, keep, change, flip. So 7 over 8 times 12 times 2 over 3. Right? Now let's get some space. Some space. So now 7 over 8, oh sorry, 7 over 8 times 12 times 2 is 24 over 3, right? And all we do is multiply what? Across. The 7 times, well, break it down first to get it that is the simplest. So 3 into 3, 1 time, 3 into 24, 8 times. So 7 times 8 is 56, divided by 8. 8 into 56 is 7 times. 8 into 8, 1, 8 into 56. So 7 times is the answer. Okay. That's the first one. Let's move on to the second one. Second problem. So number 2. So 3 divided by 20. Change that into a decimal. What I normally do is long division, right? The denominator would be on the outside and the numerator on the inside. For 3 to 20, we all know that's not possible, so we put a 0 as a placeholder, right? And once you put a 0, you got to put a 1 because now you know that the value is less than 1, so 0 point something. So 20, you put a 0, right? Because now we go in less than 1, as I said before. So 20 times 0 is 0, right? So instead of doing all of that, we can say 20 into 30 goes how many times? 1 times. 20 times 1 is 20. Subtract 0, 3, take away 2 is 1. 20 into 10 we still can't, right? So what we do, add a 0. 20 into 100 goes 5 times. 20 times 5 is 100. Subtract, and that's the answer. So 3 divided by 20 is 0.15. Okay. Remember, if you have any questions, please be active in the comments. I will answer. Okay. All right, let's do the others. What percentage is closest to 1/6? How would you solve that? Remember what I explained in the lesson about percentages. If you remember, if you don't remember, please go back and look at it. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do the problem. So follow along. If you are confused, you can look back. So 1/6 equal x. That's what we need to know over 100. Remember, you want percentage is per of 100. So you want to know what is 1/6 of that 100. We want the denominator to equal to 100, right? So that is why the equation is like this. 1/6 equal x over 100. So 6 times x is 6x. 1 times 100 is 100. So what I did there was cross multiply, right? So now we need to make x the subject of the matter, the problem. So we got to divide by 6. And what we do to one side, we got to do to the other side. So this cancels out. So x equal 100 over 6. Right? And when you do the division now, the answer, if they need it in decimal, is 16.6. Right? Okay, let me do the long division to show you how we come by 16.6. Okay. Alright, so enjoy your writing, guys. When you're doing math, you gotta write. Alright, cool. Now you have 100 divided by 6. How you do that? Remember what I said? What's at the bottom, the denominator, put on the outside. 6. Where is this? So it is 6. And then we're going to divide by 100. Right? So 6 into 10 is 1 time. 6, 1, 6. Right? Subtract 6. 10 take away 6. 4. Leave 4. Right? Carry down this 0. 6 into 40. 6 times. 6, 6, 36. Subtract, remainder 40. Right? So what's gonna happen now? The same thing you're gonna say 6 into um I made a mistake right here. Oh, sorry. I made a mistake right here. I hope you all saw the mistake. If you see the mistake, that means you're learning, okay? And let's do this. 100 divided by 6. So what we wanna do, 6 into 10, 1 times 6, 1, 6. Subtract 4. Because 10 take away 6 is 4. Right? Then what's gonna happen? I'm gonna carry down the 0. So 6 into 40 goes 6 times 6, 6, 36. Subtract 6, 10 take away 6 leaves 4. Right? Now we're gonna ask ourselves 6 into 4, you know you can't. So what we do is put a decimal and then we add a 0. Right? So 6 into 40, 6 times 6, 6, 36. And if you realize that it's going to be a pattern, so it's going to be 666. So 16.6 or 17% is the percentage closest to 1/6. Okay. Go to number 3 or the next one. Express 9/5 as a percentage. I'm gonna do this again. Ooh. Express 9/5 as a percentage. So 9/5 equals something over 100. Right? Now, what are we gonna do? We want the denominator to equal to 100. Right? So what we're gonna do is multiply the 5 by 20. And what you do to the bottom, you gotta do to the top. So 9 times 20 is 180, right? And 5 times 20 is 100. So, I will know this is saying 180 over 100 is 180%. Right? We know that. Cool. And that's what the problem asks. If it was 12 over 100, we know that is 12%. Right? Okay. Now, solve for y. Y over 5 equals 26 over 40. So what we can do is cross multiply, right? So 40 times y equals 26 times 5 is what? 130, right? Now we want y to be the subject. We've got to divide by 40, divide by 40, cancels out, so y equals 130 over 40. Now we can simplify. And normally I like simplifying, so I cross out 0, cross out the 0. What you do at the bottom, you got to do at the top. So the answer is 13 over 4. Now this is an improper fraction. If you want to change it to a proper fraction, you ask yourself, how many times 4 can go into 13? And that's 3 times remainder 1. I put it back over 4. Okay. Okay. So let's do another one. All right. Let's do 2. Oh, sorry. Let's do 2 over. Let's do 2 and 2/3 divided by 1 over 3. How would you solve this? As I said before, I like to change my my mixed fractions to improper fractions. So you're gonna multiply this, and then you're gonna add that. The 3 2 is 6 plus 2, 8. Right? It's 8 over 3 divided by 1 over 3. Now what we're gonna do right here, we keep 8 over 3, change, multiply, flip 3. So the answer equals 3 over 1. So the answer equals 24 over 3. And you know 3 can go into 24 8 times. Right? Okay. How would you work this one now? 3 over 4 divided by 1 over 3 divided by 1 over 4. So 3 fours, 3 over 4 times, can we change the division to multiplication, then flip, right? 3 times 3 equals 9 over 4. But now this problem, this is divided by 1 over 4. So we're going to keep the 9 over 4, change, and then flip again. So this equals 36 over 4, which equals 9. That's the answer for that. Alright, one more problem. If they ask what is 1/5 of 40, all they're asking you is what is 1/5 multiplied by 40, right? So what we do, go across 40 times 1 is 40 over 5. 5 into 40, 8. Times 5, 1, 5 into 48. So the answer is 8. Okay. This ends today's lesson. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comments. And I hope you all are understanding what's going on so you could do the basics. Okay? See you next time. Please subscribe so that you can get new updates or new videos.